Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be playing Sprout TD on Rush mode with easy difficulty. Sprout TD is a pretty unique tower defense game, where instead of having a builder that is able to place towers, you place a seed and all of your future towers sprout from that seed. And that'll make more sense as we go on. So at the start here, I'm just going to get a very basic little path block on the left. The units will spawn here at the bottom right. This will of course rotate depending on where your base is located, so for blue they'd be spawning at the bottom left. Then they just go to the next little stone zone along the path and work their way to your tree of life. So it'll go here, 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 and then here. Once they reach the tree, they'll start attacking it. If your tree goes down to 0 life, you lose the game. So the units that you really need to be careful about are flying units and boss units. The flying units are a huge problem because the tree can only attack ground units, so it can be a good idea to structure your maze so that some of your towers end up next to the tree of life, just to prevent any leaks. Okay, so with that, we have sealed off the left portion of the path, which is just going to be the start of my maze. From here I'm going to be expanding it upwards, making like a little triangle-shaped maze where they loop around several times and have to run through it a little bit. It kind of ends up being like a 2.5 lap maze. Yeah, towers will just be going up from here. Eventually we'll also be replacing some of the towers that are right next to this stone patch with siege units. It's very important that you do this because piercing in this game has low effectiveness against fortified armor. I'm not sure if it's the same stats as regular Warcraft 3, but it's pretty similar either way. I think the piercing does, oh here it is, 40% damage against fortified armor, so really it's almost nothing, but a siege unit does 180%, so the damage difference is massive.
I stand ready.
And in a little bit here, I'll try to take a look at some of the other players' mazes, get a general idea of what they're doing as well. But since we're still pretty close to the beginning, the maze designs haven't gotten too fancy yet, which you can tell by the size of their maze on the minimap. Also, if you guys like my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to play some games with me, I do a live stream every Saturday where I'll play with anyone who's able to join the lobbies. Make sure you have your notifications set to all to be notified for exactly when those begin.
I stand ready. I stand ready.
So, Spirit Wolf Wave. Basically until we reach like wave, I think it's 8, we're not going to have any trouble here. Let me quickly double check the help menu, see if it has anything listed about wave types. Fantastic. So wave 7, 14, 18, and 23 are going to be the first few fortified waves to keep in mind. So that'd just be, yeah, wave 7, then plus 7, 4, then 5. Alright, there's no pattern there. A little unfortunate, but yeah, wave 7, keep it in mind. Piercing is effective against air units, so we're not going to have any trouble for the first couple of air waves. We'll just keep expanding the maze for now. And then at the end of wave, like halfway through 6, we'll add in the extra siege units. And if you ever fully block off the path, like most tower defense games, this one will have the enemy units attack your towers, but they're pretty vigilant in this one, so just be careful about that. I've had it be a situation where like the maze is blocked for not even 5 seconds, like a second and a half, and then the enemies immediately started attacking my towers, so it can be pretty brutal.
On your mark.
Okay, let's sell that and get a rock thrower. Then we'll be replacing this archer right here with a rock thrower in a moment, once we get a few more pieces of gold.
Our allies' town needs help.
Alrighty, 2 rock throwers should be sufficient. So instead of doing 30 damage, they're doing, let's just call it like 55 versus the 4 damage the archers are doing. So a single rock thrower is like the equivalent of 13-ish archers when damaging the Tuskar fighters. The rock throwers also have a little bit of splash damage, which is nice as well. Looks like we are already down 3 players. Pretty classic. People who aren't familiar with this style of TD can be overwhelmed pretty easily.
I stand ready. I stand ready. Our allies' town needs help. I stand ready.
Okay, a little bit of maze expansion. Eventually we'll incorporate some normal damage that's effective against medium armor, but we haven't gotten to that just yet. The unit that I'll probably be creating is the Forest Warrior, because it has a bouncing normal damage attack, which can be created from the Forest Archer. And something I forgot to mention that is unique about the Forest Archer is it is one of the few units in the game that is able to recreate itself. It is really valuable for depending on what type of damage you're in need of. Because if we're going for, let's just say, siege damage, well, this rock thrower can create a siege unit, but it's not the same and it's significantly more expensive. So even if we wanted an all siege mage, it's just not very practical. But yeah, there is at least one more re-sproutable siege unit that I found, but it was like 5 evolution paths out, and I don't remember precisely the route that I took to find it. Yeah, so this will be the final piercing wave that we can handle with ease, so from here we're going to need to start working in a few stronger piercing towers. So we're going to start wrapping our maze around this corner.
I stand ready.
We're going to be temporarily blocking the maze. This is how you end up creating an extra lane. Actually, yeah, okay, let's sell that. I think I accidentally left it open. Taking a look there was in fact open in 2 different places. So let's see how we can seal this off. Okay, that'll suffice. So then, we'll now start branching to the top right.
I stand ready. I stand ready. Our allies' town needs help. I stand ready.
And yeah, these are normal units, which is why they're able to absorb so many hits. You can actually sell this one and put a normal tower in its place. There we go. Any corner is actually the best place to put the normal well, your stronger towers should go in the corners, because the enemies will pass by them more times.
Our allies' town needs help.
Okay, second boss is down. The third boss is the first challenging one, and I believe he has normal armor. Let me see if I can... So let's see, that boss came on what, wave 12? Possible the bosses might be every 6 waves, but that doesn't seem correct. But if we assume that's the case, then the next boss would be Fortified. So that might be correct. We'll find out in a moment. Keep expanding the maze.
I stand ready. I stand ready. Our allies' town needs help. I stand ready. I stand ready. I stand ready. I stand ready.
Then get a normal tower right over here. What is this? Fortified again? Then we'll replace this one with a strong piercing unit. Okay, there we go. So that gets us an extra 228 siege damage, just in time for the next flying wave, which appears to have been on wave 15. And it does look like... I don't think these little siege units will be getting through. Most of them are close to death. Worst case though, if 1 or 2 siege units does get through, they should be able to be handled by the Tree of Life pretty easily. Okay. We are on normal again, so let's get another normal damage unit. Also want to incorporate some magic damage. For that, we can go for the Mystic Sentinel, which will have a bouncing magic attack. For our siege upgrade, we can go for the Forest Priest, which is a rapidly attacking siege unit.
By the great winds I come.
Okay, yeah, now's the time for magic. Because the units aren't too clustered up, the actual bouncing effect on the magic bounce can be tricky to go off. But when the units are in between the lanes like this, the bounce can still occur anyway. Which is one of the advantages of having a like a wraparound style of maze.
I stand ready. Our allies' town needs help. I stand ready. I stand ready. I stand ready.
Okay, the next boss is up, and he has Fortified armor, which means our Forest Priest should get a ton of damage in right here. Doesn't necessarily mean we'll be able to kill him just yet, though. Squeeze in a Stone Hurler down here.
Has awakened.
He's not super powerful, but it is an easy way to get some extra siege in. I'm guessing this boss will probably... Let's see, if he's at 50% now, I'm guessing we'll probably get him down to like a quarter HP, which can be easily handled by the Tree of Life.
On your mark. I stand ready.
Blue says he didn't leak, but he died. Unfortunately, I wasn't actually paying attention to his base, so who knows what the truth is.
I stand
Yeah, so we ended up killing the boss successfully, largely due to the Forest Priest there.
Light the way. I stand ready. I stand ready. Our allies' town
Actually, I ended up making this tower go slightly too far. We're going to branch the base to the
I
left.
stand ready.
Or, actually, we might be able to work with this.
I stand
We can't. Which means we have to cancel the sprouting, sell this tower, and then expand. Okay, another air wave. This is a strong one. This tends to be the wave where if you're going to leak to air units, this is the one. So let's try to squeeze in another Pierce Tower. And make sure you save a little bit of money, because if you do leak, you'll want enough money to get a tower by your Tree of Life. Alright, looks like we should be fine though. And we can keep... Oh, whoops,
I
wrong one.
stand ready. On your mark. I stand ready. I stand ready. I
And now we
stand
can
ready.
keep going with the maze design.
I stand ready. I stand ready. I stand ready. I stand ready.
So the top right is going to start being a pretty good place to put powerful towers as well. This whole batch will be really good for upgrading. Okay, I think we should be safe enough at the moment to take a look at some of the other bases right now. So purple is going for... Looks like he just has a little lap around a single block. Okay. Yeah, it seems like his maze did not have too much looping and he just lost. Let's take a look at pink. So his units are spawning at the bottom right. So they go, and this is the first checkpoint. So they go to the left, down, around, and then around again to the third checkpoint. That is actually a really good maze design. He's getting 3 laps kind of right away. Whereas I'm only getting like 2.5, if we're being generous.
I stand ready. I stand ready. I stand ready.
Hit expand from this archer here.
I stand ready. I stand ready. I stand ready.
That might block it. Yeah, that was block. Which is bad. The units immediately turned around. Hopefully you don't kill any archers.
I stand ready. I stand ready. I stand ready.
Probably about time to incorporate some more DPS again. I have a hunch siege will probably be our weakness, but where could we get an extra siege unit? I guess we could put a land mammoth down here in the bottom right, but that's not particularly good. The spot's not too optimized yet. Okay, we can replace this archer with a forest priest. Not the best spot, but it's okay. Actually, I didn't even have the gold for that. I was a little premature on that decision. Thankfully, the units don't appear to have scouted for the new path just yet, but now they have. Alright, we need like 2 more kills to seal that back off. Okay, 1 more. There we go. Alright, not too bad. Obviously not great, but not game losing or anything. Current boss type is magic. Okay. Normal damage. Magic damage. Magic? Okay. We could go for the water hut, but not really, because that won't expand off the null nicely. Where else could we do magic? Chaos. Alright. For now, our only real option for magic is to replace this archer. And that's actually all we can afford anyway. Ooh, a slow poison would be really nice to incorporate. The reason why we are actually still doing a fair amount of damage to this boss is because heavy armor, it takes 100% damage from pierce, as opposed to medium, which takes 80%, and fortified, which takes 40%. Of course, if you have type effectiveness, it's still better to have the advantageous type, which does 220% damage. Okay, I think we should be just fine on this one. The boss is either getting away with like 10 HP or he's going to die.
Our allies' town needs help.
Actually, something I'm not sure if I explained is because this is rush mode, whenever someone finishes a wave, it immediately starts the next wave. This looks like potential for leaks here. So because of that, I'm going to be prepared to create a basic seed and immediately put up some extra towers. Because otherwise, these can just attack forever. Yeah, okay. Kinda sucks, but this is what we have to do. So we'll just go for a couple of piercing towers. Our goal is to keep this alive. Looks like pierce our only option is the archer. So let's do archer, warrior, and then pierce middle. And yeah, that should be sufficient. Took quite a bit of damage right there, but we're good now. Looks like Pink ended up having the exact same problem that wave. There are some upgrades here. Increases the armor of the Tree of Life to 10, reducing inflicted damage by 38%. That's pretty good. I tend to like to get the attack damage upgrade though, because otherwise you just end up never... If some strong units get there, they won't die in time. I'm not sure if... Is he talking about the electric knoll? A tall-looking building? Yeah, I don't know. For me, I consider the electric knoll to be anti-air. What are these? Okay. Yeah, we need more normal damage. We kind of already knew that. Let's get a Beast Rider in here. And then... Oh, okay. We finally got to a new resproutable unit. So the Tusked Warrior is a siege unit that can recreate himself for 70 gold. It's not super appealing though. Really, just getting a bunch of Beast Riders would be great. Much better normal damage than the Forest Warrior. Then again, for the price, it's actually about the same and it doesn't get a bouncing attack. Maybe not. Okay, next up... What do we want next? Next Siege Wave is 28, so that's the next wave. Alright, we can try getting a couple Tusked Warriors. I'm going to wait a moment, because these guys are... Oh, next wave already started, okay. Well, guess I can't take quite as much time as I was hoping to right there. Siege and Piercing. Actually a pretty good combo. We'll wait for a moment. The range on this is very high. 750 damage. Did it have splash? Okay, no splash, but it gets critical strike. Considering the distance between the units, I think that's probably an improvement. Once this final guy gets past, we're going to sell the tower, get a little more siege in here. Yeah, this might technically be over-investment in siege, but because that's our biggest weakness, I still think it's probably the right move. don't think I've seen a single crit yet, but it's possible it's just not displaying the numbers.
Our allies' town needs help.
Based on the armor list, it looks like this game has 50 waves, so we're a little past the halfway point now. Okay, my large amount of investment into Siege paid off. I completed the wave first. Probably not too much faster, though. Yeah, just seeing as how he doesn't have any of those units remaining. Reptile of Chaos is pretty appealing. Just a generic full damage unit. For now, we will replace this archer with a forest warrior. We can also replace this one as well. And you have to be quick on that, or else the units will sneak through. Alright, that looks pretty good. Just incorporated a lot of extra normal damage. Okay, we have another big Pierce wave here. Let's get some extra Pierce. Going to need it. Alright, I think now's a good time to get the armor upgrade.
Research finished.
Oh, is this a boss wave? Ooh, actually... this is... I did not realize that was a boss wave. I might die
Our
here.
allies' town needs help.
I didn't get very much... yeah. Actually, he's dying pretty quickly, and I'm not. Okay, I should be fine, but not the best. We could pick up an advanced seed. I've actually never used this, so I'm not sure what it would give us access to.
Our allies' town needs help.
Needed some slow towers. Actually, a slow tower would be really nice to incorporate. Let's see if he gets it. Yep. Okay, this is Fortified, which means we already have a pretty good tech for that. Oh, okay, I see the crits now. Not sure where those were earlier. Unless it's just a really small chance. 20%, that's not that small. Maybe we go for a couple of extra. Oh, looks like I missed that one. Alright, that gets us up to 6 Tusked Warriors. Do a little bit more maze expansion now. Okay. So we can go... We need to just immediately start looping, or do we have space for one more tower? So we put this one here. Well, let's just see. This one would have to go straight down. And then... Actually, yeah, this should work.
I stand ready. I stand ready. I stand ready. Our allies' town needs help.
Wait a minute. Oh, I guess one did get through. Let's get one Tree of Life damage upgrade. A lot of misses here. Well, at least he's dead now. Going to get some more Pierce.
I stand ready. 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 I stand ready.
Okay. This is shaping up quite nicely. What do we want next? So, we wanted Chaos. We could start incorporating some chaotic treants. Just question how powerful they would be at 50 gold. Question is, do we actually want that? So right now, we have our weakness to siege covered. We're able to start working in electric gnolls. And as far as normal damage goes, we discovered that the Forest Warrior seems to be about as effective as the Beast Rider when you consider the fact that it has higher attack speed, or faster attack speed. Guessing this is a normal wave? Yeah. That's still our biggest weakness. Yeah, we'll just incorporate a lot of extra Forest Warriors. And then, let's see, which of these was a slowing tower? These, oh wait, the poison, that's what we wanted. I believe that was a spider off... Yeah, it was another spider though, fairly positive. Okay. I think it's like every unit, maybe not? Did I just remember that wrong? Okay, well, I guess we can do, at a minimum, one spider down here. Gets us one level of slow poison. Slow poison is 15% movement speed slow. Alright, we can actually just put the next arachnid right next to it as well. Alright, that gets us a 20% movement slow, a couple of units. Not a huge fan of that spot, but it's adequate.
Make it fast.
And then, what else? Lobster Fighter would get us... I don't really like the idea of putting a DPS tower out here, but units do come by often enough that it might be okay. Alright, here's the Lobster Tower. 70 damage, very fast attack speed. I don't know. That seems like that's probably... Oh, wait a minute. No, that is a much faster, very fast than the Forest Warrior. I'll tell you, that's like 30% more attack speed there. That's pretty good. Quick splash damage, piercing. Use Red Ember level 1. We can figure out how we got the Frost Towers if we know what the Frost Tower is by checking the adjacent units. So, Pond Dweller, Ship, Turtle Shocker, if we assume the turtle has frost. Is that a reasonable assumption? No, it is not. Okay, the Frostbringer comes from the Land Mammoth. So we can create a Land Mammoth, right... Where do we want one? I mean, this is really our only option. So, we create the Land Mammoth right down here. And then we follow that up with a Frostbringer right next to it. It's going to be another moderate amount of Pierce Leak, so I'll be prepared to get another Electric Knoll. You know what, let's just do it now. I'd prefer to keep the HP. A little bit of target prioritization to reduce the amount of health that I lose. Looks like he leaked that one as well, but not quite as much as I did. Okay, boss wave. Normal armor. So this is probably going to be a really bad wave for us, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, but now for the frost unit, we can get the frost bearer right here.
Pledge my loyalty.
Okay. Doesn't even tell us what the slow is, but I'm trusting that he has a frost attack. Yeah, it says cold, slow, splash damage. Wow, that was a extremely inaccurate attack animation. What just happened there? It's supposed to attack to the right, and the frost just went all the way to the left. Okay, that's another attack. Just who knows where it's going. Maybe it's the magic immune? I mean, it wouldn't really make sense, but... Huh. The spell immunity shouldn't give him frost immunity, but even if we assume that's the case, it really does not seem like these attacks are landing. I think we have pretty good odds of killing him, though. He's taking a lot more damage than I initially expected. Oh, I didn't even think about it, but yeah, if you did leak this unit, the tree would be super effective at taking him down. So this isn't a bad leak, even if you do leak it. Okay, another siege wave. But yeah, we could get a super siege guy over here. I don't think units can walk through there, so we can just kind of sell that one whenever. There we go. For fun, I'll show off the Cyclone ability. Not a huge fan of Cyclone, because it makes them invulnerable during the time period. But yeah, it's a 5-second stun, so if for whatever reason, I guess there's a boss coming that's not spell immune, and you just quickly want to get a few extra towers up, you could buy 5 seconds. I mean, if you had like 7 of these, you could pretty easily perma-stun the boss. But it's not exactly useful either. Land Mammoth is pretty powerful. 270 fast siege. Apparently the Land Mammoth goes back into the Forest Archer. So let's see here. The question is, can you get a Land Mammoth without a Rock Thrower? Because I don't know what other units can become a Stone Hurler. Really just no way to know on that one. Okay, several leaks here. Let's get some damage. Gets us up to 5,000. That should be fine. They're leaking with, like, not that much HP. That's probably 2 hits. Yep. I guess for good measure we can get one more damage upgrade as well. Before we lose the game, which we're not going to just yet, I would like to check out the Divine Seed. So, oh, well actually, we've maxed out the tree upgrades anyway. So my plan was going to be to stop upgrading the damage there, but we're already covered. This is a magic armor. Still, I haven't seen any good magic units, with the exception of possibly the Water Hut. Let's see what that does. Water Hut. 80 versus 63. Meh. Splash versus Bounce, they're about the same. Oh, okay, here we go. So the Lethal Arachnid was coming from the Mystic Sentinel. Let's get another Lethal Arachnid up here. Hey, I thought I saw it. Okay. Oh, that's not a bad combo. Lethal Arachnid for pierce damage, followed by a Forest Warrior, and then follow that up with a Mystic Sentinel. A pretty decent loop. It does seem like Lethal Arachnid has slightly faster attack speed than the Forest Archer, which means you get 8 times, a little more than 8 times the damage. We'll also test out the Reptile of Chaos, see what that's like. Oh, okay, here we go. Sky Banisher. Excellent anti-air tower. Anti-air is actually still one of our biggest weaknesses, so let's go ahead and get a Sky Banisher. 112, Cyclone again, which is useless, and, okay, 112, very fast. I mean, doesn't seem much better than the Null at first glance. You'd really just have to see how much faster it really is. Fortified. We wanted to get more siege damage. We could do Beast Rider into Tusk Warrior and then convert this row into siege as well. It's an option. Not a great one, but okay, yeah. We'll just start working in a lot of extra siege. A little late on this, though. And, in fact, I didn't have enough money to do it. Okay. So, most of these look like they're in the 1 to 2 hit range, so we should be okay. yeah, hopefully if we can just prevent multiple from attacking at once, we can keep the damage down.
Thy bidding.
Okay, yeah, that is pretty fast. That's a lot of extra hits over the knoll. I think that's game. Level 40. Alright, so there we go. That is Sprout TD. I think it's a pretty fun tower defense game. The way you maze in this one is just quite unique relative to the usual tower defense, and I think it adds a lot of fun to the game. Some of the paths to get specific units are a little complex for my tastes. Like, you have to, if you wanted that anti-air tower, you'd have to remember like a 5-unit specific build order, which kind of wish they had some type of, I don't think there's a list of like the order that you'd want for a specific tower, but yeah. So check this one out if you like tower defense games. If you guys like my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to play some games with me, I do the live stream every Saturday, so make sure you have your notifications set to all, and I will see you guys next time.